Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at XL Starmie for the Open Ultra League. Open Ultra League is going to be available in 10 hours from now on for an entire week together with the Fantasy Cup. For the Fantasy Cup there's most likely going to be a top team video later on today as well, and throughout the next week we're most likely going to take a look at both Ultra League as well as Fantasy Cup on this channel. So if you enjoy this type of videos then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you have not done this yet. Would really appreciate it, as we're going to take a look here at some test builds where a lot of the opponents that I had as well were running some of the buffed Pokemon. And so here today we're going to take a look at some very interesting battles with Starmie. Starmie is definitely a little bit of an investment, costing around, like for me at least, I think it was close to 400,000 Stardust. Doesn't need an doesn't need XL keys, doesn't need a legacy move is what I wanted to say. We're going to have here the perfect combination together with the Pangoro, which I would really recommend you to do. I was just not too sure about the save swap. I'm not the biggest fan of the Licky. I feel like it just doesn't do enough damage for me. So that's definitely a Pokemon that I mostly would change a little bit for. Maybe something like the Primate would have been working out for me quite well as well here today. But as you can see here against the opponent, they're going to run, I think, a triple buff team. We're going to have here the Ivalok against us in the back as well. A Pokemon that I definitely want to take a look at as well. As you're going to see the Close Comment coming through, we're going to be able to do some solid damage against them. And in comes the Belly Bolt, which you're going to let them move. No, never mind. We're going to use a shield here. It's going to be a Zapkin. I was actually expecting that this would not be the hard-hitting move. I actually expected that this would be the Parabolic Charge, but it wasn't, and so we're going to be able to knock them out. And in comes the Avalok, which we can fully farm down. Next opponent, we're going to have the Como here. Como is going to be one of those Pokemon that is going to be totally fine for Starmie because you also have a different moveset. Here we will see as well that the surface coming through for us, and I make a bit of a mistake here. I definitely make a bit of a mistake here because what I didn't know is that I actually survived this Focus Blast. I thought I died here and I sure went for the Body Slam. The Body Slam would have helped me out quite a bit, and so this is definitely a little bit of a mistake here that I did there as well. Yeah, can definitely cost us the game because otherwise I think we would have been able to knock them out just with the one charge move there. So big mistake by me, very big mistake by me. Definitely should have played it differently. We see the Ice Beam coming through, the opponent going to use a shield here, and we now kind of have to rely on our Pangoro. We cannot risk that them going to go for like a Close Combat here. They decide to go for the Dragon Claw instead though, and now they decide to go for Close Combat afterwards, which you're going to have to use a shield against. We have to hope that we're going to be able to win this battle with Night Sash and or here the Close Combat. And as you will see, they're going to have the Registeel. They go for one Close Combat. I know they can overfarm by a little bit as well, but I actually was surprised on how little damage this move actually did. And all we will see here as well is that we're going to CM Peter here, sadly, allowing the opponent to go for a Focus Blast and winning them the battle. I could have definitely won this most likely if I went for the Body Slam against the Ampharos. I think that would have made things way easier because I would have aligned myself properly, but it is what it is. Good game here to the opponent, and we can move on to the next one. Virizion can be a bit of a tricky Pokemon to deal with for this team, as it can break basically the lead as well as the Save, but in the two-shield scenario we actually kind of fine here, and they know this as well, and they swap onto the Steelix, where I should have most days swapped out a little bit earlier already into the Pangoro, but we were able to get the shield here anyway, so that's going to be fine. It's going to be a great matchup for Pangoro. We should be able to kind of one-shot them with just one Close Combat, as they're going to go ahead and go for the Psychic Fangs. Being a resistant move, I'm not really too worried about it. They can go for another one as well, and now I'm at 99 energy. The opponent has now a double debuff onto me, but it doesn't really matter too much. Now I'm at 100 energy actually. And I'm going to be able to go for one Close Combat. I can go for another Close Combat afterwards as well. And this is either going to get a ton of damage onto the opponent or get the final shield. And I'm super happy about this, as I can now swap out into the Starmie. I get them low enough that I should be able to fully farm them down as well. As they decide to go for the Leaf Blade here, we will have a Heatran in the back. Shadow Heatran. Cool to see this for the Ultra League, I have to say. Because usually people would keep those Pokemon rather for the Great League. Because yeah, you just only get one or two of them anyway currently, and so cool to see this on the Ultra League, but it doesn't really help them. We're going to be able to win this battle. Next opponent coming up, well, let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have here the Annihilate and the lead, which is actually a very fair, like, good lead for us, definitely, like, what we kind of want to see for this team. And so they swap onto the Feraligatr, and I feel like I always kind of make a mistake here by swapping into my Licky. I feel like it would have been better here to just swap out into my Pangoro, because Pangoro can take a hit, but also you should be able to kind of force shields or knockouts with the Close Combat, which I just don't have the pressure here with the Licky. While Licky can take 2 hits here and resist the fast move, it is still just not really a great matchup. I don't really know why, but like I don't really like the matchup at all. You're gonna see the Shadow Ball coming through here still. It is going to be able to take the knockout, so it is not too bad, but they're going to get a ton of energy now as well. I don't really have anything to, hit them with, and that's going to be a bit of an issue. What's also going to be a bit of an issue is going to be the Warring coming in next, and honestly, I should most stay in for a little bit and get some energy, but I swap out straight away into the Pangoro. I can take a hit, but I'm kind of forced to go for close combat here against the opponent because there's no way that I can knock them out with a Night Surge. And so I have to overfarm by quite a bit as well here. Close combat is coming through. The opponent is going to be able to let the move go through, and they're just going to rely on the Annihilate. And they play it really, really well because what you've seen so far is they've been very, very good at managing their energy on the Annihilate. They've been able to farm down a lot of the Pokemon they have so far, and while Annihilate doesn't generate energy as fast anymore as Counter got nerfed, Rage Fist only has 35 energy, and there we go for a back-to-back Rage Fist here. Of course we have to use a shield here because it's a super effective stab move, but they already get to another one so fast, which I did not expect at all. I didn't know that they got that much energy already. Good game there, very well played with the Annihilate there. And so far, I am not too sure about Starmie. I honestly don't know really on what I can think about this Pokemon. Like, it is of course the biggest buff of the season in general because it was literally at like rank 800 previously. But is it great? I'm not too sure. We're gonna take a look at a little bit more battles here before we actually, make up our mind here. We should have mostly went for the Shadow Ball instead of the Body Slam, by the way. This was a mistake. This would have allowed us to have a way better matchup here. That was a big mistake, actually, because I would have had a shield and switch advantage if I went for the correct move. So, my bad there. Definitely not the ideal way of playing it. As we will see here, Body Slam is coming through. We want to be able to get the KO against them. And let's see what the opponent gonna do next. It's going to be the Feraligatr coming back in. We can let the move go through here. We have our Pangoro. Pangoro can just one-shot him with a close combat. I should have went for the Body Slam again here. I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. This could have also again changed the matchup. I feel like there's definitely some things where I'm not surprised, where I'm surprised that I survive with 1 HP and I just don't go for the charge moves, which is really, really sad because I'm not too sure if the close combat now knocks them out here. I am not too sure about it. It's gonna get the shield. We can go for another one. If this doesn't knock them out, we're kind of in trouble, but let's find out here. Okay, it does knock them out, so it doesn't really matter too much. You're going to have a Drift Blow in the back, and we have Ice Beam against the opponent here, which is going to be great, as this is going to allow us to do some super effective damage. This is going to be the better charge move here for this meta as well. We can use a shield, we can fully farm them down here, and this is going to be it for this one. Good game there to the opponent, and we can move on to the next one. So at least in this battle, Starmie did something great. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have Charm alone on 90 health. There's no way that I can swap out of here because our Pangoro cannot go up against Pokemon. Like, it literally is the worst possible matchup that you can imagine. And so, as you will see, we will have some nice damage on them already, and I can still go for another Surf before they go for their own charge move on a CMP tie, which I will definitely take it. Just take the knockout here, so that's great for Starmie. In comes Donphan, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the Pangoro. And to be fair, yeah, no, I should have done that. Because, like, Rollout is going to be resisted. It's the best move that I can go for is just go into the Pangoro. I should mostly swap out of here already at this point. I'm going to decide to use a shield here. They have a ton of energy. They go for the Trailblaze, boosting their own attack. I can go for another move as well to try to get their shield as well. But then I should swap out afterwards. But let's see what they're going to have in the back. They decided, go ahead and decided to go for another charge move. I should have just swapped out way early already. Trailblaze coming in again. And I am still not swapping out. And I'm swapping out now. That's going to be the Nidoqueen. And yes, I should have swapped out a little bit early already. Take the hit on this Pokemon. Keep some health on my other Pokemon. And I definitely think I would have had a bit of a better time. Here, as we can see, we can still go for a Shadow Ball though against the opponent. This is going to be able to get the shield from them, and now I hope that one Shadow Ball plus one close combat is enough to knock out the opponent, but I'm not too sure about it yet. Let's find out. We have the Shadow Ball coming in next. It is going to allow them to get the Nidoqueen down, but as you're gonna see here, is the close combat enough here to knock them out? I'm not too sure. It is not, and sadly we're gonna lose the battle by just a few HP here. Fairly certain again, like so far for all of the battles that we lost, I'm fairly certain that I had chances to win them, and all of them I just didn't play it perfectly. And so, as you will see here, Venusaur is coming in against us here. Venusaur is going to be a matchup where again our backline can struggle a little bit against, but as you will see as well, our fast move pressure is insane. Our fast move pressure is going to allow us to very likely just farm them down on the 2-shield scenario, which is great for us. And as you can see, we're just going to be able to align ourselves now. But I also going to swap out here very, very soon as we have the stun against us. We can hopefully get the shield here from them. Let's win out. We can. And so it's actually a very solid matchup for me. I can swap out of here. And the main reason for this is because I don't have to use a shield here. In my lead, I have to use a shield, but here this doesn't do damage. Like, look at the damage output. It barely does any damage, and this is the thing for the when Stunfisk, which I kind of want to take a look at as well, maybe even today. We have to see. This Pokemon is going to be very interesting. Like, I don't know if this Pokemon is going to be as good as it looks like, but we will have to find out eventually in a video here on this channel, so stay tuned for that one. But as you can see here, Shadow Ball is coming through against the opponent. We will try our best to still go to another move, but it's not a bad matchup for us at all. The opponent barely does any damage, even though they got buff damage on 2 of their moves recently. Like Mud Bomb got buffed recently as well, I think. Like I think 5 seasons ago or something like this. But as you can see here, we're gonna have the Body Slam coming through, and this should allow us to line ourselves. Is it? It does actually, because the opponent decides to swap out of here. And like this, we're going to be able to go into our Pangoro. And this should be game over, because we can just like let the move go through here, go for double close combat. And this should allow us to win the battle. And so, well, let's take a look at this. We're going to have the close combat up against the opponent. And let's see how much damage it's going to do here. We did actually not hit the excellent, which is kind of annoying, because now it doesn't actually knock them out. Almost I would put them into farming range, but at this point it doesn't really matter. We're going to be able to win the battle. There's nothing the opponent can do here, and we can move on to the next one. We have the Alolan Sandslash here, and we have a very good backline against Pokemon, because Shadow Claw is the usual moveset for this Pokemon, and we have definitely good counters in the back. We have also here the Golisopod. Golisopod is going to be something that's great for us, because they don't do fast move pressure, and they don't have the bulk or crazy charge moves, like for example Morpeko has a crazy charge move, in order to really align themselves here. While they got the defense drop, which is very lucky for them, that's I think a 30% chance, we're still going to be in a very solid spot. As we will see as well, the opponent goes for another charge move here. It is going to be the Liquidation. We can take that hit, we get another defense drop, very lucky for the opponent. Otherwise, maybe we would have even survived another Ice Punch here from the opponent. But as you can see, we are still going to get some nice damage onto them. They're still forced to go for a charge move as well. I sure went for the Body Slam here. Just getting some damage onto the opponent would have been way, way better. But they have some nice energy now as well. I can stop out into the Pangoro, and I should let the move go through. I do let the move go through. We have to see what it's going to be in the back here. Duran is coming through. It's going to be the Talonflame. I can get some damage onto them. In hindsight, I should have just swapped out straight away. There was no reason to stay in here. But we're still gonna put them now maybe into farmland range for our Psywave, which might be an interesting play. Let's find out here. We're going to have the Surf coming through very, very soon as well. And at this point, we just want to get the opponent low, because it's a better way to kind of beat them here. We just kind of want to get them low with our Starmie. We have still 1 shield left. We can go for another Surf. We're going to get the next shield from the opponent as well. And as you will see as well, the opponent is very, very low already at this point. I could actually let the move go through. And I decided to let the move go through. And they're very likely going to not have a play here at all, because I can just go for the full farm down. I can go for a close combat. And that is going to be it for this game. Good game to the opponent. And we can move on to the second to last battle for today. So did Starmie kind of redeem itself there? I'm not too sure. Like, I have to say that I feel like the typing itself, like now here real talk towards like the meta right now, I feel like the typing is quite difficult to play. I feel like Psychic types are very tough to play in the current meta. I don't think Psychic type is a great typing, which is hilarious by the way, because if you ever played the first generation games, Psychic type was by far the best type that you could have in the game. By a landslide, like literally the best type that he could have. There was nothing that can resist it, there was nothing that can take a hit from it. It was madness. But like nowadays, like they added the steel typing, they added the dark typing afterwards as well. There is a lot of dark type coverage or ghost type coverage on Pokemon in the current meta, making it just very tough to play this Pokemon, I feel like. And yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe it is just me not playing it perfectly either. Like, of course, there were some battles I go on there as well. I don't say that the Pokemon is bad per se. Definitely not. Like, the Pokemon itself is definitely not bad. I just don't think it is like something that you need to build unless you just want to have some fun in the open Ultra League. Like, that's the thing as well. Do I regret building it? Absolutely not. Like, this Pokemon is still a lot of fun. I still think it has a lot of potential for future metas, for future videos. I think it's a cool Pokemon to have laying around to play and build teams around. I do think it has a lot of play. Do you think it's a top meta Pokemon? Absolutely not. Like, definitely not as well. Like, there's, like, it is just not really, it doesn't have the bulk. It doesn't have the typing for the meta. It is worth it for the Great League, I'd say. Like, from my experience while playing it, I do think it's great for the Great League. But for the Ultra League, I just do think that the meta itself is not really ideal for this Pokemon, and that's all that I can say. I feel like there are way more Dark-type Pokemon around in the Ultra League compared to the Great League, making this Pokemon quite difficult to play, and as you can see as well, against his opponent, we're going to sadly lose as well here. Next opponent, we're going to have Zygarde here. That's going to be the final battle for today. We're going to have Zygarde against us. We have the Greninja coming up, and we're going to have a hard counter in Pangoro. Pangoro can't take a hit here, which is going to be our main asset as well, because like this, we're going to have a way better matchup against the opponent. They go for the Night Slash here, and I will take that hit as well, because I don't really care about alignment right now at this point, and I know it's going to be a double resisted hit, so why would I really care? I can go for the Night Slash bait here, let's see what they do. They decide to use a shield, and I can go for a close combat straight afterwards, and this is going to allow us to either get both shields or get the KO as well as alignment, as well as a shield advantage. It's just madness. Like, this is going to be such a good matchup for me now. I can go ahead and go into the Licky. Hopefully this time around they don't have Focus Blast. This would allow us to definitely win this game basically on the spot. As we'll see here, Brutal Swing is coming through. We're gonna have to be a bit careful that we don't do stuff at the same time as the opponent here. Trailblaze coming through as well. We have the Body Slam coming in. We have the charge move coming through here as well. It is going to be a very nice force. You're going to have the Body Slam coming in next. This is going to be great. This allows us to get the opponent super low, and we have another Body Slam soon as well. But we're going to see here already, we can stop onto the Starmie. They have the Zygarde. We have Ice Beam, and I'm so curious how much damage an Ice Beam does. They go for the Bulldoze. Great play here, trying to get the debuff. Didn't work out for them. But Ice Beam is coming through now. This is going to be very interesting. By the way, for this play here, you're my friend anyway. I would love to see some Bulldoze Zygarde gameplay for the Ultra League. If you want to send me in some battles with that, I would love it. But Ice Beam Starmie is just going to be able to one-shot this Pokemon, which is madness, and that's going to be it for this video. So I still feel like Starmie is a solid Pokemon, mostly around like A or B tier in terms of the tier list. I will mostly do a tier list eventually throughout the season as well again. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.